Hey everybody, we're back with more of Find Love or Die Trying. How on earth did I get into this mess? I'm somehow stuck on an island in the middle of nowhere in an insane dating show from hell. And I'm repeating all of that over and over again. From what Kat said, I'm dead meat if I can't finish this show with a fiance or if the ratings aren't high enough. None of the girls in the show know the truth, and if they found out, they'd kill all of us. Why couldn't I wake up with no memories in a regular hospital like a regular drama protagonist? At least the girls seemed nice. Allie's quite something. Something tells me that she'll be hard to keep up with, and that's not just from losing a race to her in the field. Scarlett's interesting. I still have no idea if she was trying to read the magazine or the book hiding in it. Or the book hiding it. I'll figure that out later. Tara marches to the beat of her own drum. I like that. Violet's cool but intimidating as hell. I'm pretty sure she was about to cook one of the brothers for dinner. Then there's Yui. She seems like a really sweet girl. Something about her is so familiar. She said she knew me from before. I'll have to ask her about that, about what I was like before as soon as I can. But for now, the show must go on. And that's why Vladimir Vladimirovich is the perfect soulmate for each of you. Each one of you. Really. I'm sorry, I just drew a bunch of numbers and symbols that don't mean anything. It's like the bullshit math they show on screen in a movie. Ah, you're late to the party, Vladimir. Now that we're all together, it's time to explain the rules of this show. Vladimir Vladimirovich, one of the 5 lovely women here, is your soulmate. You'll get to know 3 of the girls over the next 9 days, over 3 dates with each of them. That's interesting. Okay. Then on the 10th day, you'll have to ask one of them to marry you. So I've got 10 days to save my life. So without further ado, who do you want to spend time with? But I have to choose already. I haven't even had the chance to really talk to with any of them yet. Don't think of it that way. Think of it as, who do you want to talk to the most right now? Alright. Well, I guess I'd like to spend today's alone time with... Hold on just a second. I forgot to tell you something pretty important. Hold me aside. This should be far enough. So, the girls think you'll be asking any of the 5 of them for a date. But really, I only want you to be asking 3 of them. Basically, everybody but Scarlett and Tara. Besides that, let's just say we think we'll be getting higher ratings that way. And you know how important it is to get high ratings, right? So I have to date the other 3 now. I don't really have a choice, do I? Nope. Glad we're on the same page, Vladimir. So, without further ado, we walk back to the girls. Who do you want to go on your first date with? Oh, you really can't not choose the others. Okay, well, let's just go down the list. Ali. All right, we'll make it happen. What are you sighing about, girl? How I let Allie talk me into this, I'll never know. You sure this is a good idea? Ah, come on, there's only one way to find out, isn't there? Allie grabbed my hand and pulled me towards the slope of the hill. Relax, Vladimir Vladimirovich. What's the worst that could happen? Well, I could die. Would it be too much to ask to be on a TV show that didn't end up with me dead? Don't worry, I've got you. Oh, Ellie slipped on her rollerblades, pulling me down the hill with her. I tried to step back up on reflex, but it was all I could to stand up with the rollerblades. Oh! We started rolling down the hill faster, faster, and faster. Ellie was rolling down the hill backwards at full speed. I could see panic in her eyes. I couldn't figure out how to stop. We were going faster and faster. I screamed. Ellie laughed and pointed at me. Gosh, your face is priceless. I love it. Ellie turned around effortlessly and somehow glided next to me without ever having to let go of my hand. Our breakneck pace became slower and slower as she steered us back and forth repeatedly. Before I knew it, we were gliding down the road smoothly. The wind felt so nice. Now you've got the hang of it. You've got the funny way of teaching. The best way to teach a bird to fly is throwing it off a cliff, no? That's definitely a way of looking at it. Don't worry about it, you weren't ever in any danger. Have you been rollerblading for a long time? Nope. I actually just learned how to today. What was that about never being in danger? Shh. You're quite the daredevil, aren't you? What gave that away? She laughed as she slapped me on the back. You know, you're a pretty quick learner. You picked up rollerblading almost as fast as I did. Well, I've got a pretty great teacher. It's a lot of fun hanging out with you, Ellie. Shucks, I feel the same way, Vladimir. Great to be around someone willing to go on an adventure. The world's gone crazy, we're all gonna die, you might as well be around people that make life worth living. I couldn't say it better myself. You know, I bet you can't skate backwards. Allie reversed and started skating backwards as if to taunt me. Oh, why is that? I just think it's a bit too scary for a person who screams when they start going down a little bump. I'm Vladimir Vladimirovich and I can't handle a little bump. Ah, help me. Come on, it was a hill. Yeah. I felt a fire light inside me. Bring it on, Allie. Oh, are you sure? Did I stutter? Is there an echo in here? There comes a time in every person's life where we know we are taking a stupid bet, but we do it anyway. With the power of misplaced confidence and adrenaline, I jumped high into the air. A backflip. And did a backflip. Wait, am I doing a backflip or is the world flipping? I'm not sure. Then it dawned on me. Awful! And things reset. No, I won't let you kill Vladimir Vladimirovich. What? You're going to wish we had. What just... What the hell? You're up. You okay, Vladimir? Try not to move. You're a little banged up right now, but you'll be just fine in no time. Cat and I treated your injuries pretty well, if I do say so myself. What happened? You, well, skated backwards. We're defining skating quite liberally, eh? How'd I get here? I carried you here. Oh, man, my head. Take it easy. It's only been a few hours since you KO'd yourself. Well, it's sort of my fault, but I made you some food. Should help you get your strength back up quick. Thanks, Ellie. That was really nice of you. Don't expect something that Violet would make. All I can promise is that the food is probably healthier than my last suggestion before you knocked yourself out. Well, I'll take my chances. I took a bite of the food cautiously. I'm dying. For a moment, Ellie was wide-eyed with shock and horror. I'm just messing with you. The food's delicious. Thanks, Ellie. I just figured to get a little bit of payback. You know, no one forced you to jump. She laughed and slapped me on the shoulder, then ran her hand through my hair and scratched it. I found myself smiling and admiring the blue of her eyes. She kind of... Did she just pet me like a dog? Like the dog on her shirt? I'm looking forward to our next adventure, Vladimir. But promise to not be too stupid again, okay? I'll try my best, but people can't help but do stupid things to impress a pretty girl. I guess impressed is what we'll call it. Spent the rest of the day making fun of each other for how stupid we were being. Somehow, some way, Allie could take the ordinary and turn it into an adventure. I was laughing so hard that I could barely feel any pain. Before I knew it, it was nighttime. I stumbled back to my room and plopped onto my bed. Who'd be coming at this hour? Knock, knock, knock. Shuffled over in a haze. Hey there, Vladimir Vladimirovich. Sorry to bother you this late. That's alright. What's up, kid? Don't mind me, just gonna make myself real comfortable. Had walked by me and comfortably sat herself on my bed. I really gotta get one of these beds for myself already. Closed the door, then sat facing her on the opposite side of the bed. What brings you here tonight? Can't stop thinking about me? You wish. Unfortunately, it's my job to help you survive until the end of the show. And that means checking in with you every night to see how you're doing and making sure you're doing you're doing your best on ratings. That's nice of you. Thanks, Scott. Well, to be honest, I don't have a choice. Finding a new person to take your place would be a recruiting nightmare. Back to what I'm here for. Your date today with Ellie was a ratings knockout. You and Ellie were the fan favorite pair. I gotta say, she knows how to make exciting TV. She's got potential for her own show now that I think about it. You were saying? Sorry, I'm getting distracted. The whole world knows now that Ellie is your first soulmate candidate and they're hungry for more content. That said, we need a little more drama in the mix now. Scarlet, tomorrow I want you to find who your second... I think that's supposed to be... Wait. Scarlet says, tomorrow I want you to find your second soulmate candidate, who your second soulmate candidate is, and ask them out on a date instead. Alright. Alright, sounds good to me. I wonder if that was a mistake. It was supposed to be Kat, or... what? I would have expected you to want to spend more time with Allie tomorrow, but I guess you understand your situation. Without those ratings getting higher and higher every day, we'll axe the show and your life with it. I guess that makes sense in some warped way. I'm impressed at how well you took that. I'd almost think it wasn't your first time on a life or death killing dating show. Well, that's pretty much what I needed to tell you. Getting late, and we've both got big days tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. Night, Vladimir. Good. She was gone before I had a chance to finish. Guess it's time to call it a night. And have a weird dream. The sound of waves. Hey. I can hear her call out to me within a dream. It's you. I love you, Vladimir Vladimirovich. I always will. And I'll always love you too. My mouth moves on its own. Even if there's so many other women on this show? They could never be you. I held her tight and kissed her. You promise? I promise. Promises are breakable, you know. That's what you told me. I meant every word I said. She smiled at me. You better behave. Your face is becoming clearer to me with every day that goes by. I know you're here with me, but which one are you? Yui. Oh my gosh, I heard what happened yesterday. Are you okay? No worries, I'm good. Thanks, Yui. I'm so relieved. You should not be should you not be resting after today? Nah, no need. I've only got a few scrapes and bruises. I'm surprised that both of you aren't dead after what you pulled. Believe me too. Wait, what? I mean, no worries, Scarlet. I've been rollerblading for longer than most people have ever. Technically, that's probably true, but... you should teach us how to rollerblade, Ellie. Seems like it'd be fun. You sure, Tara? I feel like that might not be a good idea. What's the worst that could happen? I like your attitude, girl. Come on, let's hit the road. Ellie grabbed Tara's hand and pulled her away. Sometime later. Hey, Tara. Who was skating? There's no words. I think she asked how was skating. I think Allie broke Tara. Scarlet waved her hands frantically in front of Tara's face as if to check if anyone was still there. Tara, you in there? Hey, Tara, the internet's back. I guess nobody's home? Huh. Is there a medic on the island? Luckily, Tara was fine. After that was resolved, we spent the rest of the morning playing video games as therapy for Tara. Still doesn't remember a thing about what happened. What did you see, Tara? I guess we'll never know. Weird. There you are, Vladimir. I've been looking for you. It's time to decide who's your second soulmate candidate. Cat moved in closer to whisper. Not like you really have a choice, though. That's her whisper. So without further ado, Vladimir Vladimirovich, who's the unlucky girl? I'd like to spend time with spend some time today with Violet. All right, well, make it happen. Give us a minute to set up the scene, then go find her. I had just gone outside the mansion to find Violet when a white limousine drove up and stopped in front of me. One stepped out of the driver's seat and walked towards me. Vladimir Vladimirovich, good day. Please do enter. What's it the formal talk? Just get in the car, Vladimir Vladimirovich. You already heard what she did to my bro. Eh? He opened the passenger door and ushered me inside. I shrugged and went inside. What's the worst that could happen on a death game dating show? We sat in silence as one drove me to what looked like some sort of fancy restaurant, then escorted me inside. Violet. Bonjour, suitor. I trust my new butler already brought you here safely. Yeah, he did. What's going on, Violet? I thought it would give you a chance to have some alone time with the star of the show, is all. I am told this is what people do when they are courting. Have you never been on a date before? Oh, of course I have. I have read all the manuals on the subject. I'll have you know I've studied every book of the Lusty New Asian Maid series and know them all by heart. Impressed, I'm sure. Yes, I'm impressed, Violet. It was nothing. Pardon my interruption. I brought your food. Please be seated, honored guests. Violet and I sat at a table in the center of the palace as one placed each dish onto the table one by one. He seemed to linger over the meatballs as he brought them over. Thank you, one. Please, don't hold yourself back. Don't think I will. This food looks incredible and probably worth more than my life. You're right on both counts, Vladimir. I'm ecstatic you like the assortment. I planned it myself. You're a chef? You could say that. Well, what do you mean? Anyway, tell me more about yourself, Vladimir. There's not much to say. Amnesia's a hell of a drug. You do not remember your past? Yeah, bummer, right? Then rest assured, I'll find the finest scientist in all the land to help you recover your memory when this is over. That would be great. Thanks, Violet. Think nothing of it. It's the duty of those with more to give back, no? So, have you ever thought, perchance, that this is actually a blessing in disguise? What do you mean? Many of us would be happier not knowing what drags us down. That may be true, but still, I need to know. You sound just like the reference examples in the romance manuals. Consider me impressed. You know those manuals are just regular old fiction novels, right? Ha! You're quite funny, Vladimir. An admirable trait to have. I like that. Anyway, I haven't told you haven't told me about yourself, Violet. Who are you? What do you do for fun? I'd like to know. Being the scion of the Valentines does not leave much time for fun, I'm afraid. Even on this show, I spend most of my waking hours managing the Valentine's restaurant businesses. But I suppose if I have a spell of time, I enjoy baking. I don't get, why are you embarrassed by liking baking? Everyone has a hobby. Baking is something of a servant hobby, according to my parents. When they found out I was enjoying that, well, they made sure to stop me from ever doing it again with all the restaurant work. It's a bit ironic, isn't it? You know what? I do know of what, but what do you mean? Who cares what your parents think? Here on this island, a million miles out, they can't stop you. How about we find some time together to bake up for a lost time? Ah, she laughed like a child. That would be wonderful, Vladimir. I'll make some time on my calendar for you. We spend the next few hours enjoying the finest meal that money could buy. Each course was better than the last, just like each chapter of the lusty new Asian maid, according to Violet. Something tells me that the same applies to every moment I'll share together with Violet. Sweet. I was about to enter my room when I felt a familiar tap on my shoulder. Hey there, Vladimir Vladimirovich. Got a minute? Let me just make sure Allie or Violet see me come in here. Fan some flames. Sorry, what? Cat looked around, smiled, then went into my room. I followed suit. First, the good news. Thanks to my plan, we've gotten enough ratings to avoid early canning. People loved it when you and Ellie were the main ship, but loved it even more when Violet kicked off this competition. I'm glad to hear I get to live another day. For now, at least, but that can change in a dime, so keep it up. Also, I'm curious how you're feeling about Ellie and Violet. Between those two, do you have a favorite? Violet. Though I've known her for less time, I think I like Violet more right now. I don't know as much as I'd like to about Violet just yet, but I know more than anything that I just want to keep learning more about her. Really? Well, I can't say I'm surprised. Let's see where things go with Violet. You'll be hanging out with her again soon enough. Anyway, that's it for today. Keep it up, and who knows, you might just be the first one to make it out of here. Night, Vladimir. Good night, Cat. She left my room, closing the door behind her, because it's time to turn in for the night. ... Sometimes the most precious moments are the most mundane. Just the two of us spending the evening together in the games room. I'm reading a book and at the same time watching her rage against an opponent in a fighting game. Fun to watch her savor every victory or explode with profanity when she loses. Life is good. It's time like these where you wish life could always be this simple. Sometimes in these moments people wish for more excitement. More fame, for fortune, for anything but the ordinary. But all I want is the ordinary with you. Ah, you! I love this woman so much. So accurate. Then you set the meat at around 300 degrees for 40 minutes. Okay, got it. Kara furiously scribbled down notes. Wait a minute. Can I just cook it for 600 degrees for 20 minutes? Not quite how this works, I'm afraid. But the math checks out. What's going on? Oh, good morning, Vladimir. How do you do? I'm teaching Tara the proper way to prepare a pot roast. So far, I'd say it's going pretty well. Tara will be the one to prepare lunch today instead of me. Tara turned one of the dials on the stove as far as it would go to the right. And the student has surpassed the master. On second thought, perhaps I'll prepare an alternative course. One moment, please. Ah, ye of little faith. Time for the moment of truth. Lunch is served. Sarah was nervously clasping her hands tight around her phone. Scarlet goes, Huey, ah. Ellie, ah. Me, ee. It's delicious. I did it. Oh my gosh. Hera did a little dance in celebration and gave Violet a high five. Should I become a food vlogger? Am I a cooking savant? This talent shouldn't be wasted. Hey, Violet. What is it, Vladimir Vladimirovich? Is this what you cooked or is this what Tara cooked? Violet smiled and winked at me. I don't know what you're talking about. She sipped on her soup contently. I couldn't help but smile back at her. Damn, this was the best meal I've ever had. Granted, my memory only goes back about 3 days, but still, counts for something. I sense that even though I have no memory of any food I've ever eaten, this is still the best I've ever had. I found Kat in the same place as she found me yesterday. Good morning, Vladimir Vladimirovich. It's time to decide who's your last soulmate candidate. Oh man, I'm gonna make a killing from today's bet with 4. Poor guy. He doesn't know you've been rigging the show. What he doesn't know can't hurt him. Anyway, after you make your choice, it'll be just between the 3 soulmate candidates from here on out. Yui, wait just a second. What does... I thought somebody would ask, so let me explain. If you don't get chosen, we'll make the rest of the show a tropical getaway for you. You'll still be able to see the other girls and live in the mansion, so really it's no big deal. Tara did a little fist bump. So without further ado, Vladimir Vladimirovich, who's the last unlucky girl? I'd like to spend some time today with the only option I have. Yui. Yes! I made a bet with 4 you'd choose Yui today. Great choice, Vladimir Vladimirovich. I knew I could count on you. All right, let's get this show on the road. The forest to the north of the house was as serene as could be. With each step forward, I felt the soft earth give away beneath my feet and the wind caress my skin, green as far as the eye could see, and her, in a flowing white dress, standing in the middle of it all. Hey there, Vladimir Vladimirovich, what you doing all the way out here? I was actually looking for you, Yui. I was hoping we could spend some time together. Then consider me the luckiest girl in the whole world. Yui had the cutest giggle, the kind that instantly put a smile on your face. Well, you found me now. Here to join me for a walk? I'd like that. We started to walk down the forest path together. I couldn't help but be fascinated by her hair flowing like water in the wind. I doubt you remember, but I'm from way out in the country. I grew up surrounded by animals, nature, you name it. It was just me and my grandma, my 2 little brothers, and the alpacas, and my bunnies, Bun and Bun Bun, and the chickens, and too many farm animals to count. To answer your question from earlier, nature takes me back home. Do you still live there? Yep, wouldn't have any other way. So I had moved to the city for a bit way back when. You know, that's when I met you. How'd we meet? Well, you know, one thing I hated about the city is that everyone's in a rush. People just walk by each other as if they're obstacles to get past instead of, well, people. I came to the city alone, didn't know left from right. And I got lost. I swear every building looks the same. Oh, you can say that again. I tried to ask people for directions to where I would live or where the school was, but no one would give me the time of day. Except for you. I helped you? Yeah. You didn't even know me, but you took the time to help me figure my way around. Gosh, I'd never been so embarrassed in my life. Well, why were you embarrassed? You know. Die. We found out later we went to the same high school, but we never talked too much after that. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Oh, it's not your fault, Vladimir Vladimirovich. I had to move back home pretty soon after anyway. Well, I'm happy I'm getting a second chance to get to know you better, Yui. I feel the same way, Vladimir. You're just like how I remember. Well, actually, the whole trying to date 5 girls at the same time thing came out of nowhere, but life is full of surprises, I guess. Shouldn't take long to remove them from the equation. Sorry, what did you say? I couldn't hear you. Just a little joke. I was just saying I'm so happy to see you again. Here's to the future. We spent the rest of the day taking in nature and making up for lost time. Apparently I was always ending up in trouble back then. I guess not much has changed. Something about Yui made it easy to open up. I found myself almost telling her the truth about the show several times. Even though I couldn't tell her the whole truth, I could tell her just enough of what was worrying me to make her feel at home and at ease. Whatever's getting you down, I'm sure it'll be okay. No matter what, I'm on your side, Vladimir Vladimirovich. After today's date, I went out for a short walk outside the mansion. Oh, hey, Vladimir Vladimirovich. Hey, Kat, what's up? Let's not waste any time. I gotta get back to editing, and you know what I want to hear. I know Violet was your favorite till now, but maybe Yui has shaken things up a bit. Who's number 1 now? Still Violet. Yui's a psychopath. He plans on getting rid of the other girls. Violet is still my number 1. I've been counting the days till I see her again. And I know it's going to be worth the wait. Damn, that's definitely going to go into the broadcast. I couldn't write that much cheese if I tried. I've got some good news for you then. My plan was a success. Having 3 soulmate candidates has worked magic for our ratings. Which of course means the show will go on. That's awesome. So I'm safe now? And just for now, though we're not out of the woods just yet. We need to make sure the next stretch of the show rates even higher. Time for phase 2. Over the next 3 days, you'll go a second date with each of Ellie, Violet, and Yui. Just imagine how much higher our ratings would be if our viewers got to see even more of their favorites falling in love. Just imagine that sweet ad revenue rolling in. Sorry, I got distracted for a second. Sound good to you? Sounds like a plan to me. Good. That's what I want to hear. Tomorrow morning, I'll be asking you who you want to have your first second date with. Put some thought into that. Sometimes the order of content is just as important as the content itself for ratings. Will do. Thanks, Scott. No biggie. I gotta get back to work, so I'll see you later. Night. I waved goodbye to her as she walked away from the mansion. Guess it's time to turn in for the night. We borrowed a boat and went for a cruise around the island. I love the way the wind feels. Why is that? Feels like freedom. Can't get enough of it. No cameras, no people, nothing to stop me from. Pulled me close and kissed me on the lips. For a moment, time stopped and we were the only people that existed. Doing what I want. I smiled. I'm pretty sure we don't need to be all the way out here just for a kiss. I guess you're right. After all, it's hotter if people are watching. We laughed together as we cruised along till the sun went down. The world was ours. The sound of waves grew louder and louder, threatening to pull me back into reality. Will I know you before I'm taken under? And we will have to find out more in the next episode, guys. See you then. Thank you for joining me.